Hello and welcome to Monophobia, a little horror game developed by Z-xian, available on itch.io, and apparently, I guess we're the only living thing left on Earth. I guess we'll see what happens. It does have an interesting art style. Everything's made in watercolor, I assume. A little content warning as well, though. This is a horror game, so it does contain dark themes. Viewer discretion is advised. All right, let's I guess live. You know, there's two options: live or die. Let's live. Let's try that. You know, probably a good idea. Hello, Rando, and your girls, by the way. Let's begin. Seems like it's just a cutscene in the beginning. Another sleepless night. I'm too tired to get up. No. I'm hungry. I should eat something. Is it morning? What time is it? I wonder how long has been since everyone has disappeared. I've become the last living thing on Earth. It's not like this has affected me. I never left my house, even before every living thing on Earth has vanished. It's been years since the phenomenon. Nothing has changed for me. I mean, it sounds like a bonus, actually. You know? Anyway, I'm still living the life. Smile, happy smile, very happy. I mean, it sounds. I don't know. This game is supposed to be pretty dark. I feel like it's supposed to be some kind of like psychological horror thing, but I don't know. It sounds like it does sound like the life, you know. Actually, it's like it's an introvert's dream. Anyway, it's been some months, but I should turn the lights on. And there is gameplay, by the way. I guess it starts off with like a lot of cutscenes, it seems like. But I don't know. I guess we'll see. I actually opened the game for a couple minutes before just to check if it works. But it does start off low cutscene, low scary cutscene. And there's a bit of gameplay, I think. At least according to the screenshots, anyway. It is kind of like an RPG Maker game, I believe. I don't know. I guess we'll see. Seems like a nice place. Also, electricity works, by the way. That's what I'm surprised about. Apparently, everyone's freaking dead, but the electricity is still working, right? How long did they say societies collapsed again? Like years? Was it years, I think? I can't remember. Was it years or months? I can't. They said, I remember they say years, but also months. I can't remember. Anyway, this hurts my eyes. The fluorescent lights. It's painful. Can't stay too long in the dark, though. I should do something today. Right. Alright. Gameplay. Wow. Can I save? Okay, where's this pause menu? Can I save? No, I cannot, it seems like. Look at this TV. There's a weird blob on it. Let's see what's on the TV. I thought everyone's dead. Why is there TV? I mean, I guess this is pre-recorded. Today, someone got... Wow. Amazing. The murderer is still... while consulting... For some odd reason, the TV still works. Even the news is updated. And judging by the updating news, apparently the virus is still ongoing even after a year. Bruh. What do you mean, bruh? Okay, now I know a Zoomer made this. Only a Zoomer would add, like, bruh into their video game. I should sit on a sofa. Okay. Well, it doesn't look like everyone's vanished at all, actually. Seems like it's still working. In fact, that does sound like the dream. You know, the only downside, I feel like, for everyone vanishing from Earth is that infrastructure doesn't work anymore, but it seems like it is. Electricity, running water, food, you know, the internet. I'm assuming the internet still works, and in that case, it does sound like an interest dream. What's the problem? Anyway. What's in the locker? I don't know. Is it a jump scare? Boo? No? It's just stuff. My cabinet is a mess. Okay, it's a cabinet, not a locker. I don't know. To me, it looks like a locker, but obviously that doesn't make sense. I haven't washed my damn clothes since forever. It's no use. This reminds me. I haven't showered nor brushed my teeth. My teeth? My teeth? Or clean myself in general. Well, that's just unhygienic. You'll get sick if you don't do that. In a very long time. Oh yeah, maybe, you know, probably this. I mean, I feel like a lot of games ever since COVID has kind of like a theme of isolation. You know, is the idea, because that was the whole thing. And technically, isn't COVID still a thing? I don't know. I like people I feel like forgot like it was a pandemic and everything, but like it's still a thing. It still exists. I can't remember the last time I cleaned myself. I guess the main character is very stinky. Take a shower. Every time I go to the bathroom to shower, there's a demon in it. I end up just standing, doing nothing. Wow. What kind of bathroom that is? It feels tiring. That reminds me of a Japanese bathroom, actually. There's like a section where you can like, you know, rinse yourself before you go into the bathtub. Difficult. Impossible. I don't know why it is. I don't know why it is like. I don't know why it's like this for me. Oh, it's called depression, I guess. I think that's what it is. I'm assuming that's what it is. I'm assuming this game is about depression. Wasn't there like a Twilight episode about this? You know, the idea that everyone's disappeared. Hold on. I just end up staring at my reflection on the bucket. Cool reflection. Maybe we should use a mirror instead? I don't know. I feel like looking at the water might not be the most accurate, you know, representation of your reflection. Is there something called refraction? No, for hours. They stare into the water for hours. For days. For days. You do that? I get bored. It's like watching paint dry. I do gotta say, the dialogue kind of slow. I'm like pausing because I don't want to like ruin the scene, but like at the same time, I want to go faster. When I do pick up the pail, Mm-hmm. I would do nothing, but tell myself that I should just do it tomorrow. I was just procrastination. That's how they get you. It's difficult for me. Stuck in this infinite loop. By the time I realized it, a million tomorrows had already passed. That's a lot of tomorrows. Did you mark it on the calendar? Did you count that? I'm not stinky, however. What? Doubt. I doubt it. For I use the mint and perfume. That's not how it works. Can't just do that. Also, I can't go for like a few days without showering. You know, I don't know. I get really greasy. Like I can't do it. You know, like it's not physically possible for me. I just get too icky and it's like greasy. I gotta shower. I don't know. It's been a while since I wore something different. Can't see myself that well considering the cabinet mirror is all shattered. But oh well. Let's see what's in my wardrobe. Stuff. It's hard to tell. You made Nikki reference? Lamau? Okay. I don't know if this game's supposed to be taken seriously or not. Like, there's depression themes, but also Lamau. So it's like, I don't know. I do feel like a Zoomer made this game. I feel like, I don't know. That's just my impression anyway. I like this one. Damn, I look cute. Okay. I guess they're trying out different outfits, you know, in front of a mirror, I guess. Is that what was it? What this is probably a reference to something. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not super familiar. That symbol is probably a reference to something. Probably to another indie game. Ooh woo? What do you mean by ooh woo? I haven't seen it. I have more clothes, but too lazy to try the other ones. What is your name? As in the main character's name? I have no idea. I don't know what the main character's name is. It didn't say. I'll just stick to my epic green suit thingy. Red shirt, blue tie, blue skirt, and blue boots. It's my favorite of all. Like a cartoon character that wears the same clothes throughout the entire show. That's how you know that's how you identify them. That's why I haven't watched this in over 10 billion trillion million years. Okay, I feel like that's a hyperbole. Because I don't think a human brain can imagine that long. You know? They can't think that long in the future, you know? But yeah, I was gonna say, this game definitely reminds me of, I mean, at least the premise anyway, reminds me of the Twilight Zone episode, right? Like that guy who is like, was in a vault or something, and then the whole town got nuked, you know, right? And everyone died in like nuclear fallout, and he's the only one that left alive. Which also doesn't make sense, because I feel like he would die from the fallout, you know, there's like a bunch of radiation. But anyway, the episode's like he survives, and it's like, I'm the last person on Earth, I can do whatever I want, you know. And then he reads a book or whatever, like he gets to read all he wants, and it's like it's great. But then his glasses break, and that's the irony or whatever. I feel like a common theme is like, oh, it's so bad to just be by yourself forever, but it's like, I don't know. Again, I think it's kind of great. But again, the only bad part obviously is the infrastructure goes all the way down, so that kind of sucks, obviously. But if that didn't happen, then I don't know. That sounds great. I do not know what to do. Hello, Fishy, by the way. I've already done it all in an infinite amount of times. Playing video games? I played all the games I wanted to play 50 years ago. Okay. I'm sick of it. I spent 40 years watching anime. Did you go through your backlog? There's a lot of anime. I don't know. Is 40 years enough to go through my backlog? I'm not sure. Well, this one is peak anime. The others, however, they're mid as fuck, bro. Okay. This is really... I don't know. The dialogue is just all over the place. I don't know what tone is trying to like, what kind of tone is trying to do. But anyway, the internet. The internet. Amazing. The internet was a mistake. And that's a fact. In my opinion. Okay? The place where I just spend most of my hours. Doing nothing but doom scrolling. With my freaking Uwu Nyanya Rar XDD Neko Ears headphones. With the ears they've been doing. Why do people wear the cat ear headphones, The cat ears don't even do anything. What's the point? What's the function? No, I'm such a quirky doomer girl, yeah? Watching videos of people getting shot. Being beaten up. Having their heads get stomped. And people dying in the worst ways possible. Wasn't there like a subreddit like that? I think it got banned. Like watching people die, literally? Or something like that? I never really visited that much. I just heard about it. I saw around 6 different videos of people who killed themselves on camera. I mean, that happens a lot. I think it's been, how do you say? It's been archived, I feel like, in a few Wikipedia articles. It's not like I go out of my way to search this type of content. They just appear on my feed. Do they? I don't know. I feel like you do gotta, go looking for that kind of stuff. I saw these videos without my consent. You feel like banging your head on the wall. I don't know if you should do that. That probably causes brain damage. That's a bad idea. I see what I mean? I was just scrolling and here's another video of a man committing suicide. There's another video. Looks like he jumped off a pretty tall building. Or building? Building. Another video of a puppy being stomped to death. I mean, there's no way I could watch something like that. That's crazy. I mean, people dying is one thing. I mean, I don't really like animals all that much, but there are, definitely videos out there of animals, being abused, and I don't know, that's worse. That's worse for some reason to me. How could you do that to something that doesn't even understand what's going on? It's like killing a baby. It's like, what the fuck? Anyway, it stopped moving. But I've heard about videos like that. I mean, basically, you're the people who do that are basically serial killers, or are going to become a serial killer at that point. I don't know, man. Another video of a man getting beaten up. Oh, he's being stabbed to death now. How dramatic. That's a lot of blood. Okay. This is a new one. Apparently, even though everyone is vanished from Earth, and that's the premise of this game, supposedly, we're still getting new videos. We're still getting new content. It's a video of a cat being put into a blender. Okay. I don't feel so good. Probably not. You could pause the video, you could not watch the video. Here's a funny one. In the hidden replies. It's a goatsy, okay. I actually don't know what goatsy is exactly, but I think it's like a shock image or whatever. A butt. Photoshop butt, I think. I don't know. There's another one. I've seen this already. It's a video of a man in the beach, shitting out the sand he put in his asshole. Okay, that's just weird. What are we watching? Why are we Why are we doing this? What is this game? You know, I don't know. Yep. Now he's eating it. That's just gross. That's unhygienic. Well, that was something. Why are you doing this, main character? I wonder what other things are going on. I'm assuming it's the idea is that they're so bored after playing like 50 years of video games and 40 years of anime that they're just watching shock videos at this point because they're so bored. I'm assuming, but I'm like, well, why don't you do something else with your time? If you have so much time to do anything you want, I'm assuming. How about you like, I don't know, learn an instrument? I don't know, to get a hobby. Anyway, no clue why, but even the internet is still updating. So, I mean, if the internet is still updating, I don't know. Again, I'm adding like logic, even though like that's not the point of the game. But I'm like, well, if the internet is still updating, that's like infinite content. There's still so much out there. You could like, I don't know, you could watch other movies. You could like, learn things. There's just so many things you could do with your time if you had infinite time. I always feel I don't have enough time. That's the problem in real life. Is like I never have enough time to really absorb all the content on the internet that is interesting. And if you do have a lot of time, then that's amazing because there's so much out there, Anyway, people's lives are still going. I don't know how this is logically possible, considering I'm the only human left. Only living being left, in fact. Maybe my Wi-Fi is connected to a different dimension? A dimension where everyone did not disappear. If that's the case, then that dimension sucks. Man, this is weird. My internet friends are still online. Is that Discord or whatever? I don't have this. I mean, I don't really do Discord. I don't really visit Discord very often at all. Like a couple times here and there. But like, I just don't do Discord. I don't know. I'm not really used to Discord like culture. I'm more so used to like communication through like forums. Like I mean Reddit sort of, but like I much prefer like old internet. When people just talk in forums and threads and stuff. Back in my day, I don't get like live chat. Like Discord is mostly like live chat usually. I mean, you can do voice chat as well, but I feel like most, at least public servers, you would do like just like chat rooms or whatever. And it's like that's weird to me. It's like live chat feels too weird for me. Ironically, even though I'm streaming, but they sent me a lot of messages. This game is like it's like a fever dream, maybe. I assume they're from the other dimension. Ignore. Put on put on invisible status. Don't want to break the space-time continuum. Okay. Well, from what I understand, I guess the idea is that the protagonist is what else to do? I'm assuming the protagonist is like, I don't know. There's two interpretations, I guess. One is like actually it is supernatural and everything is in like from a alternate dimension. Also porn. Now we're watching porn. I don't want to watch porn. And well, anyway, the second interpretation is that maybe they're just delusional, right? They're just pretending that they're the only living thing on Earth, but that's only for for them to justify them staying like alone, I guess. Something like that. Maybe, I don't know. Nah, okay, good. We're not watching porn. I wasted countless years of watching porn. I'm bored of it. An unending psycho playing games, watching shows, doom scrolling, or watching porn. I mean, again, you could do much more than that with the internet. You could make a game. You could you can learn how to code and develop a game, which is something I probably should do one day, which probably will never happen anytime soon. But I kind of do want to like learn how to code one day. I just don't have enough time. I feel like, but I do want to learn how to code eventually. Probably when I'm like 60 years old and like old. It's like eventually I'm gonna make a game. It's gonna like suck and nobody's gonna play it. But like, I don't know. I feel like I play so many games. I kind of like want to make my own game eventually. Your average terminally online uwu doomer. Uwu. Isn't it like a trope actually, or like an archetype, like Menhara or something? Menhara. Man, if only I had been more productive instead of rotting away. If only the internet didn't suck so much. Yes, I'm gonna blame the internet for all of my shortcomings. I just want to see something that makes me happy again. Oh hey, my prayers have been answered. Yorokobe? Yorokobe shoujo. It's a wholesome cat video. Wow. Faith in humanity that restored. Great. Just gotta watch a cat video, that's all. Like a normal cat video. Not the one that you put in the blender, but just a normal cat video. I'm okay now. Again, I'm not really an animal lover, but I do watch a few videos like that. But usually it's not cats, it's like weird pets. Like mice, you know? Sometimes I mean, a while back, I like to binge watch a bunch of mice videos where people had like pet mice. Recently, I think there was a jumping spider. You know, the spiders are kind of creepy, right? But like the jumping spiders, though, are kind of cute, I feel like. And there's some videos like that on the internet. Anyway, that's enough of the internet for today. Or night. What's my favorite animal? I guess my favorite animal definitely is ravens and crows, I guess. That kind of like, what do you call them? Corvids, you know? Only because they're so smart. You know, I also like watch videos like that. You know, you watch the video of like how they recognize faces and they use tools and whatnot. I don't know. I just find that, I don't know, inspiring, I guess. It's like these little like birds are just so smart, you know, compared to like, compared to other animals that people always think are smart, like dolphins or whatever. I'm like, oh, dolphins overrated. You know, crows are cooler. Anyway. I lost track of time again. I'll still leave me. Teehee. I do feel like that, yeah, again, the dialogue of this game is a little slow. That's why I'm kind of like talking in between. I kind of don't want to, because I like to let the game breathe. But like the dialogue is just so slow. That's one feedback I would want to give, is like, definitely you should go a little faster, you know? Because people read faster. You know, I'm reading everything aloud even, and I feel like it's still too slow. And people normally would read a lot faster than this. Anyway, I guess that's the game. We just interact stuff. Can I just leave? Here's the door. Is she gonna go on? I say she. I'm assuming she. She said she before, right? I was saying they before because I wasn't sure, but she did say she before, right? Like herself. I mean, she said girl, right? She was a uwu doomer girl or whatever. That's what it was, yeah. Anyway, she tries to leave, but nope. Too scary. Okay, we're not leaving. Bad idea. She did mention like sitting on the couch before. Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna sit on again. Yesterday's storm caused a huge death toll. Around 13,000 people died, and 4,000 people are reported missing. That's a lot of people. As you can see here, these are some of the corpses of the people that died in yesterday's storm. Just look at these dead bodies, haha. I don't think they do that in the news, do they? They don't show corpses. Their bodies melted due to the heat. A green pool of pus and liquefied flesh fills the area with their bones scattered all over. On tomorrow's forecast, a typhoon of boiling blood and piss will hit the cities with northern Mindanao. Mindanao? I don't know, that's a real city. Okay, that's a lot of degrees of Celsius. Temperatures during the storm will be around... I don't know how to say that. I don't know how to say those numbers. How many digits is that? Or not digits. What's the... How do you say, the number of zeros and like number or whatever? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 billion, I guess. Is it 9 billion? 9 billion degrees or something? I don't know. That's like the heat death of the universe. You know, that's like you can't do that. It's like the sun exploding. In fact, the sun exploding might not even reach that amount. I feel like I don't know. The typhoon is expected to last until the end of time. Wow, that's a long typhoon. Awesome. By the way, there's awesome hidden in that word vomit. So stay tuned for more weather updates. On other news, Bazinga. I saw Bazinga. Man, I hate climate change. Seems like things are just getting worse. If only people recycle properly. Well, that's just a scam of corporations, you know, kind of like giving us the responsibility of like fixing the climate and not the actual companies themselves, even though they're the problems. Anyway, and conserve energy. The reporter needs to like take a deep breath. The TV is so boring. That is true. I don't really watch TV anymore, really. Not really interested. I mean, the only thing I watch TV for would be maybe the weather. That's kind of it. But even then, I just kind of look it up on the internet. Or look up on my phone. You know, on my I mean, smartphones these days, they just have the weather app right on it, actually. That's what I check for. And maybe, well, I do check the UV index, I guess. You know, I don't know. I'm more concerned about like UV rays, you know, these days. I don't know. I just had another argument with my family. They're like weird, like crayon drawings, full of bruises. I stormed off into the streets. I decided to go to a church. Unable to cry, my eyeballs melted. It's not very good. You know, that's not very good in general. You know, your eyeballs should melt, actually. Or maybe that's a metaphor. Okay, that maybe that's. I don't know. Again, this game is like, yeah, it is. The dialogue is a little bit insane, but like, I guess that was a metaphor actually, meaning that that does mean crying. Anyway, I sat there in silence, praying to be able to go back to the past to play the shitty games that suck ass. Then, out of nowhere, a random cat sat on my lap. It's the first time something like this has ever happened to me. I didn't know why, but it just stayed there. Like it wanted to comfort me. I mean, you should be careful. Actually, stray cats can like give you diseases. You know, you make sure you have your rabies shot. I don't know. As if it knew what I was going through. You know, stray cats and dogs are a problem in big cities. They definitely carry diseases. Regardless of intent, for the first time in years, tears ran down my cheeks and onto the cat. It's as if an angel was listening and sent this cat to comfort me, to make me feel at ease. It's very presumptuous of you. I think the cat is just hungry. It wants some food, actually. Suddenly, cat spoke to me. Oh, I became a talking cat. And then it says, do you want to make a contract? You know, do you want to become a magical girl? No, it asked me questions. Are you happy with what you did? What? Are you happy with the person you've become? You can return to the past, but nobody will be there for you. You're alone. It's all your fault. The world will continue to reject you. And because of that, nobody loves you. Nobody will ever love you. You know, it turns out the cat was sent by not angels, but rather by demons. You don't need to tell me that. I already know. Ah. So do you? Or so do you? Or maybe it's like, so you do? I don't know. So, but without other people's love, how will you ever be happy? You may ask. Well, the simple answer is... you won't! That's the neat part! And you'll never will. Or you never will. Simply because of how you are. Get wrecked. Yeah, that cat is just a troll. It's an internet troll. It's okay to give up. I know you're tired. You can rest. There's nothing wrong with it. It's gonna be okay. It will be peaceful. For all eternity. Ouch! I guess we fell off the sofa. Looks like I fell asleep. Or more of like? I don't know, the grammar is a little bit weird as well in this game, but or more like fall asleep. Or fell while I sleep. But I'm Tish. I got a comedian over here. The news is still up. How long have I been asleep? Looks like the TV got boring. They became, static. Should plug in your PlayStation, yeah? Put on channel 3. Play some retro video games. Anyway, I guess she said like she played 50 years of video games. I mean, I guess I can't really imagine that because I literally have not lived 50 years yet. But I don't know. I mean, I always feel like in this kind of situation where you're immortal, assumedly, and you get to do whatever you want for a long time, I'm like, it'll take a long time before I get bored, I feel like, I gotta say. 50 years is like, that's rookie numbers. Anyway. Maybe that's just me. Big nose. Pinocchio nose. I'm too tired to sleep. Alright, we're now sleeping. It's kind of hard to tell what everything is, though. But I guess that's a bed. I mean, again, the art style is interesting. It's just, again, not very distinct, though. It's hard to tell what anything is. What is this? It's a window? I guess it's just a window. Ah. I forgot to clean you. A window or... I don't know. I'm sorry. My lovely dish rack. Oh, it's a dish rack. I thought it was a window, but no, it's a dish rack. I got nothing to say. TBH. Does a good job at holding the dishes. What more could you ask? Okay, cool. Amazing. What's here? A table of stuff? The table looks... Yes. I'm starving, but I don't want to eat. I'm a picky eater. Well, you shouldn't be. You know, I mean, I imagine you being stuck in the millennium for so long, being bored, you might as well fix your picky eater habits, you know? At that point, if you're so bored, how about you just try out different foods, you know? Anyway, I haven't cleaned my table in years. The food from last year is still here. Actually, that's disgusting. You know, the food from last year? The sisig? I'm not familiar. Sisig? The sisig is still fresh because bacteria is not real. Of course, germs are not real. She is anti-vaxxer? I don't know, anyway. Or is this chop suey? I can't remember. Now, this is what happens if you don't take your vaccines, actually. You go crazy. Because you pretend that bacteria doesn't exist. Now, regardless, it did not decay. And choosers can't be beggars. Or was it beggars cannot be whatever? I forgot. Anyways. I can still eat this. That's disgusting. What do you mean? Didn't she say that it was like food from like a year ago? I would not trust that. Num num num. Ugh. I wish I was eating something else. I miss eating street food. Like, balut or chicken proben. Those food tasted so good. You know, recently I tried, what's it called? Poke bowl, I think? I'm not sure to call it poke bowl or poke bowl. It's a Pokemon, but you know, it's a Hawaiian, I guess it's a Hawaiian style, like, meal, you know? Whereas like it's just some rice with like a bunch of like sushi toppings and some other stuff, like, you know, stuff like that, depending on how they put it in the poke bowl. But you know, I didn't think it would taste that good, but like, yeah, I actually kind of like it. You know, especially if they use sushi rice. You know, I just like sushi rice. So anyway, this brings me back. The food my mom cooks doesn't look good, nor taste good. Honestly, it might be worse than this. It's worse than this. But I still prefer it. Alright, see ya. Tired today. Back when I was in grade school, she would pack my food for lunch. It was usually pork, chicken, eggs, or fish. With about 1.5 cups of rice. I mean, that sounds good. I like rice. Those are usually the leftovers from breakfast. Those types of food would always bring back bad memories. I would always eat alone. I had to eat alone. Sounds great. No one to distract me from eating my food. You know, anyway, it's not every day I get to eat lunch. My mom would often punish me, so I would have nothing to eat at lunch. That's just child abuse. You should report that. I don't have money to buy lunch, nor do I have friends to ask for help. Have you called the authorities? I mean, obviously, sometimes that doesn't work, but you know. If that happens, have no choice but to eat my own skin. And that's not very healthy. I don't think that works, you know? They always say that, right? Like, if you're stranded on an island and you gotta resort to auto-cannibalism, like, that probably is a bad idea because you'll just end up dying earlier. It doesn't matter. But I guess, you know, if you're so hungry, you know, obviously, at that point, you just do anything. But, you know, logically, it's a bad idea. It tastes bad. All right, good. Well, we had lunch. Not very good lunch, but we had lunch. Does Uber not exist? You know, again, like apparently the Earth, or rather, everyone has vanished from Earth, and yet everything is still being updated. Can we not like order Uber anyway? You know, can we order Uber from like these people that don't exist? I don't know how the world works in this game. The sink. Okay, it's a sink. I think it's hard to tell. Oh no! Why? I don't know why she's so distressed about this sink. I hate doing the dishes. Well, get a dishwasher, I guess. You know? Actually, I wouldn't know that, actually. I've never had a dishwasher. But I feel like it would be very convenient because, yeah. Washing the dishes does kind of suck. That's why I always try to do it, like, right after I eat, you know? Instead of, like, waiting. Because if you pile on a bunch of dishes, it is annoying. So it's better to do it, like, right away. Because I do hate, like, I hate it when, like, there's just a bunch of food, you know, leftover food, and it's, like, disgusting. I don't like roasting, you know? Anyway. It's the food that I was trying to make. Saw blood. I forgot when I last touched this. It looks dead. I don't know what it is. I think I was trying to make some tinola manok. I'm not familiar with any of the food names, by the way, they keep mentioning. I guess I'm just uncultured. Can't remember. I should try cooking again sometime. I'm actually pretty good at cooking. I'm even better than my mom. The mom that stars me when I was in school. Because of this, we struck a deal. I do the cooking, and she does the dishes. I spend a lot of time learning more about cooking rather than doing my assignments. To the point that I would get bad grades in class, which made my parents mad. My father would often punish me by burning my back with a cigarette. Again, that's just called child abuse. But, you know, one burn per mistake. I mean, that's an easy CPS. You know, that's an easy CPS case, actually. Just lift up your shirt to, like, a social worker, and then you're pretty much out of there. The scores of my kids would often be 2 out of 10, 6 out of 20, and 0 out of 5. Or during my final exams, it's 13 out of 40. Very specific numbers. He eventually got bored of using the cigarette, so he got creative, asked his friends for advice on how they would punish their kids. Well, first, I would just murder them, you know, apparently. I don't know. That's just what I assume at this point, you know. My dad poured salt rice or mungo beans on the floor and made my knees kneel on it for about an hour. Another was when my dad made me tiptoe for 30 minutes while a needle was placed below where my heel is. One that was not as bad was him putting wasabi tape on my mouth. That wasn't so bad. You know, it was just spicy. It burns that, but that's pretty much it. The most common punishment he would do to me is whip my back with his belt. Ah, yes. Classic. Classic Asian parents. Now, and I'm not being racist, by the way, because I'm Asian. Just want to add that, real quick. He would make sure to use the end with metal on it to hit me. My back would swell and sometimes bleed. I couldn't walk for hours. I had to crawl to drink water or go to the bathroom because of it. Don't worry, it's not bad. They were doing it because they love me. It's a normal thing to do here, depending on the culture. I mean, it really does depend on the culture. At least in North America, that's considered child abuse. But again, it's like there's also cultural differences where that's just a normal thing in a lot of places. But yeah, I got really bad grades. So bad that I got kicked out from my school. Eventually, I had to stop going to school in my 4th year of grade school. I was probably around 8 when I stopped going to school. There was no point. I kept getting bad grades. And we don't have a lot of money. Strange. Again, I don't know. I guess, I guess this setting is definitely very different from what I'm used to. But like in North America, at least grade school is public, so you don't pay anything actually. It's funded by the government, so if you get bad grades, you'll be held back, but you still get to go to school, But I guess it might be different in other places. It was better to spend for food and for our sari-sari store. Sari-sari? But hey, I don't know what setting this is. What country are we in, At least I learned how to cook decent meals. Pinrang tong asna? I'm not sure. I guess if you look up these foods, maybe it's a hint to what country the main character is supposed to be in, but I'm not familiar. Go on. Are these even real? Are these even real foods? Kala mangesabal. Mungos. Mungos. I don't know what a mungo is. Pork asado. I'm gonna search that out actually. Pork asado. What is pork asado? Pork asado Wikipedia. It is South American. Okay, so we're in South America, I guess. Maybe? I don't know. That's what when I looked up, when I looked that up. Oh no, it says right here. I wasn't looking at the game. Many more generic Filipino foods. Okay. That's where we are, I guess. Which still, I'm not really super familiar. I'm horrible at geography, so I'm not familiar anyway, but I guess we do have a name now. I want to make some other fancy types of food, such as, I have no clue what the name of those foods are. But you know what I'm talking about. Do you? Or do I? Stuff like fancy spaghetti with all those fancy spices all over it. We were too poor to buy those expensive ingredients, so I had to make what we could afford. But anyways, because of my epic cooking skills, we were able to open a small carinderia. I don't know, what are these words? I was the one who usually cooks, my mom was the one who serves the food. Filipino. I'm searching on Google. I mean, it's the Philippines. Where is the Philippines? Where is the again? My geography is like horrible. I don't know where anything is. But the Philippines is, I guess, a country in Asia, is what it says here, according to Wikipedia. Southeast Asia, so around there. That's, I guess, the context of this setting. That's why I don't understand any of the culture. Anyway, my favorite has always been the bangus. The bangus, whatever that is. Looks like a fish. My dad taught me how to smoke the fish. I remember how proud he was of me for being able to cook those type of food at a really young age. It made me happy. I also really like tortang talong, despite my mild eggplant allergy. not that bad. My entire mouth, it just itches. And I would have a hard time breathing. That's not good. You shouldn't do that then. And puke blood. Yeah, that's a bad idea. And vomit out my internal organs. Nothing serious, I think. Who needs those organs anyway? Who needs them? Things were pretty nice before. Until they kicked me out. Can they do that? I barely cook my own food. Now I just go out to eat. Because eating alone is tiring. Well, you shouldn't do it too much because it's more expensive actually to like go out to eat, you know? But now, because of that virus, I'm forced to eat alone. Again, introvert's dream. I prefer eating alone, you know? I like eating alone. So I can actually eat, you know? No one's distracting me. So I can finish my food. Or just not eat at all. That's not very good. Not very healthy for you to not eat. As it turns out. But I should clean the kitchen counter. You know, for some reason, yeah, her like outfit, by the way, the main character's outfit reminds me of Miyu, I think was her name, Miyu. What's her name? Was it Miyu or something like that? Miyu from Higurashi, actually. Or maybe I'm getting the wrong name. No, it's Miyo, rather. Yeah, Miyo. Takano Miyo. Takano Miyo from Higurashi. It's the green. You know, it's the green, like, I don't know, jacket thing. Anyway. But yeah, she's gonna clean the counter tomorrow. Yes, even more procrastination. Alright. Anyway, the game so far is, I don't know, it's just kind of weird. It's not much of a story. It's more so just, how do I say it? It's like a diary. You know, I don't know. I'm not sure how much of this is real. You know, I feel like it's just the ramblings of the developer's diary, but I mean, I could be wrong. It could just be all made up, but I don't know. But it does feel like, it just feels like someone's blog. Here's a water cooler. Should I even drink water? It's been a long time since I drank dihydrogen monoxide. You know, don't you know anyone who's ever drank dihydrogen monoxide has died? Crazy. My mom would not approve because this is unhealthy. Is it? I want to drink soda, but I can't. I don't want to go outside. These days, I drink a lot of sparkling water. The soda monster might turn me inside out, side, inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, for all of eternity. Eternity does mean infinity forever? Okay. But got nothing else to drink. No, water is good for you. At least I'm drinking something healthy. Well, it's more like you're drinking something not unhealthy, right? Because soda is really bad for you, actually, because so much sugar in it. Again, that's why I drink sparkling water instead. I used to drink so much soda back in the day when I was a kid, but it's bad for you. That was refreshing. I'm gonna drink some water right now in real life. I guess. Alright, good. What else can we do? I guess we can look at the fridge. Do we have anything in our fridge? Most likely not, or otherwise just, you know, spoiled food, if I had to guess. Ugh. All the food in the fridge is melted out of reality. That's crazy. You know, there's like a best before date, and if it's after the best before date, it turns into, you know, like a monster or something. It's all sludge. Like my eyeballs. Got nothing better to eat. Time to dig in. Just eat it raw, right from the fridge. Don't even like bother to cook it. I mean, in the first place, it's all rotten anyway, but... Yum. Tastes better than the one at the table. Just like rotten meat, full of like parasites. Yum. I'm gonna vomit. Yum 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 yum. What'd you say? My mom would not approve of this because it's very unhealthy. But that is fine because ahahaha. I don't know. What is this even saying? I don't know. I have no idea. Wow. I can make my own decisions in life now. Bleh. That was absolutely disgusting, and I regret doing what I just did. This is what I know it's hard to really. I mean, it's meant to be all jumbled up, I guess, but like I'm trying to read what the sentence is trying to say. Anyway, let's see. What else can we do? Is that it? I feel like we touch every little thing in this room. So I think that's it. Unless there's anything else. Anything else in here? That doesn't look like it. And go back to sleep? Well, have her big nose again? Like, I'm afraid to, like, interact with something we already interacted with because I don't want, like, a repeat of the scene because these scenes take so long. It's just, I mean, I guess that's just the game, but, like, it's just quite a while. It's a big monologue, you know? Anything to do here? This looks different. No, that's it, I guess. It's just a picture. Because you already interact with that, I guess. Look at the sink. Look at this. Look at that. Garbage. Oh, that's the trash. I forgot to take out the trash. I always forget. My whole house stinks. I think it stinks. Like the smell of a rotting corpse. Or something. Hard to describe. Hard to tell. I lived in this house for many years. You kind of get used to the smell. I mean, that's sort of true, but also take out the trash. What are you doing? Actually, I don't know what smells anything anymore. I don't know what smells are. I don't feel like cleaning my house. I don't want to take out the trash. People call me lazy, but I'm not. It's hard to explain this, but I can't help but just lie down in the trash, living in a trash world. Do nothing. Stare at the ceiling. For seconds. Minutes. Again, we're staring at things again. Hours. Days. Okay, I feel like the ceiling is now growing black mold. Weeks. Months. And finally, hello? Video game? Years. It takes so long. Uh, it takes so long to get to the point. What next? Decades? Decades. Centuries. Millennia. I don't know. I am Millennia, Blade of Mikola. No, it's hard to get up as the filth piles up. It feels empty. Thinking, yet not thinking. Getting lost and empty. Man, I want to kill myself so bad. Yeah, I mean, we've been going through this the entire time. I think you just have depression, bro. Uh, that'd be nice. I could imagine myself doing it. Grab a rope and hang myself. I mean, that's a very classic way, I guess. People find my body, have people cry for me, be reported in the news. I could write a suicide note, post it online, and have tons of people message me, reach out to me. Okay. I could just ignore them. Because that won't stop me. Nothing will stop me. It's too late. I'm too far gone. Nobody can save me anymore. You know, what about, I'm just thinking about the person who has to clean up your corpse, you know? What about that guy? You know, there's actually a job, actually. You know, when people commit suicide in like houses and everything, someone has to clean up your corpse, okay? What about that person? You're inconveniencing them. Anyway, as they find my lifeless corpse, they hold a funeral. My family would notice me again. They would miss me again. It would be perfect. They will cry as my coffin lowers. Can they afford a funeral? You know, it costs money to get a coffin. You know, it's very expensive. I think it's it's like overpriced. They live their lives thinking about me again, missing me, with a burning memory. And here I am, free from my thoughts, problems, worries, and feelings. That'd be so wonderful. It would just be another day. It's nice to think about. My mind feels so clear. It makes me feel at ease. I truly hope I get to die one day. I mean, we all do. But anyway, and stop feeling horrible. Bro, we all do. It's called the mortality of human life. This is hilarious. I've always wondered why I'm like this. Well, it's the social economic factors of your like environment when you grew up, the lack of education, probably you didn't finish your education, you know, and lack of financial security, bad habits, you know, bad upbringing. Anyway, why did things go so wrong for me? I should think of something else to lighten the mood. Sometimes, I like to imagine that I'm a character in an RPG Maker game. Okay, well, this game meta. made by some dipshit university student. Whoever made me gave me this life. I like to blame it on them. You know, it's their fault. It's literally the developer's fault. They're literally making despair porn. Now, I like to imagine the person who did this to me is currently suffering, failing their course, starving, hated by everyone, and being loved by nobody. Having sleepless nights, going crazy, hurting, hitting themselves, cutting themselves, bleeding to death, dying in the slowest and most painful way possible. I wonder what that would be. You know, the human, how do you say, humanity, you know, in history has created many different kinds of torture devices. So there are many creative ways to die in the most slowest and most painful ways, actually. You just look up like medieval torture devices, you know, and the way they executed people. It's messed up. I hope whoever made me kills themselves, have their grave be spit on, and their soul be sent to eternal damnation, if you believe in that sort of thing, I guess. Melting forever. They deserve it. It is all their fault. Mm-hmm. That was fun. I sure have one creative brain. Okay, are we done staring at the ceiling and like seeing blobs? I know this is all my fault, but blaming someone else makes me feel better, even if that somebody's not real. People would often call me weird for spacing out all the time. I would spend all my free time I have thinking about things like this. It may be morbid, but it makes me feel better. It helps me relax, thinking that someone like me can die in peace. I just hate myself so much. Okay, look at you. I think this person needs to see a therapist. That's my impression. I want to cry so bad, but I can't. I don't know why it's like this for me. Am I this broken? And again, it's called depression. This is called clinical depression. And that is a symptom where you can't cry anymore because your emotions have been stunted, you know, from feeling so sad all the time. So that's the reason. Anyway, to the point that I can't even cry anymore. And then again, I'm thinking about like, I don't know. I don't know how the Philippines are. Because again, I'm assuming the setting is the Philippines. So I don't know if, you know, mental health is taken as seriously, and can you afford a therapist even? You know, I mean, that's all what I always think as well. Like, at least in North America, you do have to pay for like therapy out of pocket, as far as I know, right? Unless you have like some kind of insurance. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar. Anyway, honestly, I don't care if I will never be happy. I just want to stop feeling horrible. I just want this to stop because I feel really, really, really horrible. I'm filth. I'm the trash man. I'm tired. I should head to bed. Oh, are we going to bed now? Can I go to sleep? True ending. Just take a nap. I hope I'm able to dream. Please. That reminds me actually, like yesterday I took a nap and like it wasn't really a nightmare, but like I think I got a stress dream, you know? One of those dreams where you're like you wake up with your heart rate beating really fast. I don't really remember what it was, but I think I was like a customer service job or something. I don't know, something to do with like a Zoom meeting, I think, and like how I need to like talk to a bunch of clients or something like that. I don't know. It was all just made up and jumbled because that's what dreams are. But I just woke up like panicking because I was like, I have to hold this Zoom meeting with a bunch of idiots that don't know how to use computers or something like that. You know, I wasn't that mean in the dream itself. I was just thinking like in because it was like a customer service thing where I had to like, people were complaining and angry at me, because I'm not doing it properly or something. It's all made up, but I don't know. It's like it just reminded me when I was working customer service, in the past. So I just had a stress dream, like that. That's what that reminds me of. Anyway, so I'm just thinking like, maybe you shouldn't wish that maybe sometimes you shouldn't wish that you want to dream because sometimes those dreams are not so good. Sometimes they suck. But I mean, most of the time I don't even remember my dreams really. Anyway, it's just another day. Just another day being a uwu doomer girl, monologuing the entire time about how my life sucks, I guess. I didn't do much, yet I already feel tired. You need to make a to-do list. That's what I do. You gotta make a list of what you need to do every day. You gotta keep yourself focused and make goals. Anyway, I already forgot the things I did today. It's been difficult remembering things lately. I mean, I don't think we did much. I'm pretty sure we just monologued the entire time. I'm afraid of forgetting. There's nothing else I can do right now, so I'll just go to sleep. What's that Mori song? It's like, oh Yasumi, oh Yasumi. Na, 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 na. And this is when we go to white space and we have a whole RPG adventure in our head, right? No? Guess not. What's the black screen? Is there more? I don't know. There was a child who was born with a condition. Where their pupils will melt right off. The child was a little different. But because of this, their classmates would bully them. The child would cry to their mother. And then their mother would suplex them and say, why can't you just be normal? No. Anyway. But the mother would tell the child it was all their fault. One day, the mother had enough and turned into a demon, I guess. So she took her sewing kit and sewed the child's peepholes in place. That's really difficult. Can you do that? The eyeballs stopped melting. But the classmates would not stop bullying because they remember. Eventually, years went by. 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 And it don't stop coming, and it don't stop coming, and it don't stop coming. No. Years went by. Years went by. Years went by. Years went by. And eventually the girl's face melted off. That's not very good. She gave up. She did, in fact, regret her decision. And then the girl woke up. She was relieved. Thankfully, it turned out it was all a bad dream. Except it's not. Face melt. Okay. Who's knocking on the door? Trying to sleep here. And this is when the landlord, tells us that we're being evicted because we're not paying our bills. That's a true tragedy. No, it is just another day. This is what happens when you don't shower. Your face gets melted off. Too grimy. Okay, I guess that's it. Is that it? I'm assuming that's it. All right. Okay, well, that's the game. It's a weird one. Let's see. Do we go back to special thanks? And stuff views. For the watercolor, I guess. We go back to the menu. Thank you to all the people who helped make this game. And my friends, the developers' friends, not my friends. And then translation to Japanese. Yeah, I did notice there was a Japanese translation as well. Anyways, to balance up the fucked up nature of the game, pictures of my pet cats will appear. Thank you for playing the second game. Sorry about the jump scare. I hate jump scares. I want to recreate nightmare. Scariest dream. My face melted. Anyways, that's it. Okay. Everything was drawn traditionally. Also, they had a previous game. Yeah, I did notice the previous. I never played the previous game because it was, I don't know, it didn't really appeal to me. And then typos, the custom plugins. Also, the only digital art here is Mono Sprite. Here's a photo of me holding it next to the cat. Oh, waterpaper color is tiny. That's Bochi the Rock. Challenged themselves by using watercolor, made it a little bit creepy. Just put cat pictures. And here's, okay, that's kind of cool. That's all the scenes of the game. Okay, over 300 or 250, don't know. Not to mention, okay, I'm just going through this real quick. You know, it's just like developer commentary, I guess. Next game, they're gonna make that game, I guess. Oh, maybe. Interesting. It's gonna be a very weird game. This one was already pretty weird. Okay. Okay. Hard time paying for the music materials. Commissioning friends. Okay, it costs money to make this game. Feel free to commission. You know, go ask them if you want to pay art or pay for their art, I guess, or pay them to make art. Is what I'm trying to say. Follow them on Twitter. Support is appreciated. Okay, this is art from one of their friends. Another one. This one is that meme. What was that meme? That Breaking Bad meme, I'm Skylar White, yo, or whatever. My name's Skylar White, yo. Anyway, more fan art and a plushie. Fan art from this is a long developer commentary. Oh yeah, and the other game. I also did notice, yeah, they had another game too. Technically it's like 3 games on each show. Then originally this game was for Mono to go outside and explore the abandoned world. Okay, but I guess they didn't do that. Change the story. Kind of interesting though if they did that. It would have been like what's that called? I don't know, I can't remember what it's called, but I always forget. The Girl's Last Tour, where it's like you would explore like a empty world and everything. It'd be kind of cool. And it'd be like a mystery of how the world ended. Okay, random photo with Yumi Nikki photoshopped over them. Cat's name is Lady. Okay, Catherine. I'm done. Like I'm done. I don't need all of this. Not to be rude, but this is I'm good. Okay. Wow, this is a lot. Expressionism. Okay. All right. We're done? I think we're done. Burger. Nom. Okay, and the game closes, by the way. Let me open the game again. Okay, so that's the game. A lot of extra little commentary at the end there. I just kind of glossed over it. But I guess if you're interested, definitely you could check it out on your own. But yeah, that's Monophobia. I do got to say, number one, the art is interesting. I really do like the idea of using traditional art to present the graphics of the game. So that is interesting. Especially just like walking around. I feel like that's the most interesting part. having your like sprite walking around in a watercolor world. I kind of wish there was more of that, to be honest. The original idea actually was the main character walking around outside, actually. And I think that would be kind of cool, actually, because you could like draw interesting environments as you walk through different scenes. I think that would be more interesting, right? Kind of like Yumi and Nikki style in a way, right? Exploring different areas. And I the premise of the game as well seemed interesting too. You know, you're stuck in the world. It's kind of like it's supposed to be kind of a metaphor, but I feel like it's a little bit on the nose. But like it is supposed to be kind of like a metaphor for like isolation, you know, during the pandemic and whatnot. But it's trying not to be like, I guess, referencing that directly. But I mean, it's a little bit too obvious, I feel like. But you know, it's supposed to be that, right? Social isolation and like being stuck in your own head, depression, suicidal thoughts. You know, that's the idea. And I guess most of the game really is just developer again. Venting, you know, in a way, yeah, sus, but you know, the meaning venting rather, to like put down all your like negative thoughts and like you know, really like dark thoughts or whatever into like some kind of like piece of media. You know, I mean, like, you know, you just like listen to like really like what do you call, I don't know, like songs, for example, you know, like songs or like dark lyrics and whatnot. It's kind of like that, right? So I mean, I do respect the idea. Now, here's some feedback though, and my kind of like my issues with the game. Number one, the pacing is like too slow. I feel like it's just a technical thing, but going through the dialogue and really the monologue, it takes a bit too long. I feel like too many pauses. I mean, it's fine to have actually like pregnant pauses. You know, that's like a thing actually when you like do speeches or presentations. Sometimes it is a good idea to pause, but this game pauses way too much. You know, every like few lines or so, it just pauses and then continues, and then pauses and then continues, and then pauses. You know, it takes too long. You know, like people read faster than that, so you really gotta speed it up. You know, in my opinion. So like even me, I read everything aloud, and I already take my time reading, and I feel like it's too slow. So I think it definitely needs to speed it up. I feel like, you know. And I get it. Maybe sometimes the pauses are supposed to like, how do you say, punctuate, right? Like a scene where you're like, oh, you know, look at this thing, you know, it's so weird. So you pause a little bit to like appreciate it. But like, again, the game pauses way too many times. So if you're going to slow things down, it has to be for a reason. You can't just do it the entire time. Anyway, but yeah, that's my opinion. Number two, way too much monologuing. You know, I think it's because of the setting where like the character is just stuck here in her own home and everything. But like, I don't know. It's just way too much monologuing. It feels too Shakespearean. You know, that's how I feel about it anyway. You know, in like Shakespeare plays where like the main character just kind of like talks to themselves like, alas, poor Yorick, I knew him well, Horatio. You know, it's like they do that like a million times. And it's like, I don't know. It's a little bit too much. It feels like because of that, the game feels even slower because of the way it's written. Because it's just her talking to herself the entire time. And I'm like, well, where's the story, right? It doesn't feel like a story. It feels more like diary entries, you know, where they're just, again, talking about how their life sucks and whatnot. And that's fine. I mean, it's not like you can't use that as fuel for your creative endeavors, but like, I don't know. It's just a little bit too on the nose. It's a little bit like, it feels like someone's just complaining, you know, the entire time. And I don't know. I mean, again, I guess it depends on your preferences, but like, I feel like the character just monologues way too much. And I'd rather, like, to me anyway, like a good story would use much more like metaphors, you know, to communicate like what the themes of this game is trying to communicate, which is like, again, like themes of suicide, isolation, and depression. Like, I get it, right? I think that's what it's about, but like, it's way, I don't know, it's just way too like on the nose about it, you know? It's like, life sucks, you know? Like, I get that, but like, can you communicate that in a more interesting way? Because this is like a video game, right? So I wish it was more interesting. Like, you know, there was that dream at the end. You know, the dream at the end actually was kind of interesting. Actually, you know how there was that dream where she had melting eyes and her mother looked like a weird monster thing. That's kind of cool, actually. I do like that. So I wish it was actually just that instead of it just like walking around in her house. Look at this food. You know, this food reminds me of that time where I had trauma from my childhood. You know, it's like, and then blah, 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 and then blah, 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 and then blah, blah, blah. It takes so long. I don't know. This game could definitely be a lot shorter as well. I gotta say, you could cut off the fat a lot more. And yeah, again, I wish it was more, I don't know, more mysterious, you know, more like, more metaphors, more, instead of like just directly saying like literally, you know, this is how my life is, you know. And it is like interesting backstory, but it could be more implied rather than just being told to the player. You know, I think that's what it is. I feel like this game has, at least the story anyway, the writing makes the mistake of telling too much, you know, just telling too much of what is going on rather than just simply showing us, especially because of the traditional watercolor, right? We could do more of that with that actually. Because of the visuals, we should really do more with the art rather than just simply telling us what's going on through words, I feel like. But I don't know, that's just me. That's what I prefer anyway. I also feel like, I don't know, like, again, I feel like the writing, it doesn't really appeal to me either, just in general, because it did too many like Zoomer memes. I feel like, and I'm not a Zoomer. I'm like a millennial, you know, I'm from that generation. So I'm like, I don't know, I prefer much more subtlety rather than just straight up like Lamau, you know, Umu Duma girl, you know, I don't know. That's just silly. Like, I get it, like there needs to be some levity, right? That's the word, I think. Levity as in like humor sometimes to like break up the monotony of like dark games or dark writing or dark story or whatever. But I don't know, it doesn't appeal to me, you know, that kind of humor just in general doesn't appeal to me, I guess. So that's partially why, again, very subjective, I guess. I don't know, that's how I feel about it. Again, like I like the idea, I like the art and everything, but I don't know, the how do you say, the well, I don't know what the word is. The application? The execution. Yeah, that's the word. The execution of the story, of whatever the story there is, it doesn't really appeal to me, right? I feel like there isn't much of a story, right? I feel like kind of like there was a potential here to tell a story, but there wasn't much of a story. It just kind of felt like we were reading the character's diary, you know, and it's like, that's not really interesting to me, you know? Like, I feel like a story can communicate these kind of themes in a much more interesting way and therefore make people empathize much better if it's told in a more structured way, where there's like a mystery, you know, there's some kind of like thing going on, some kind of like immediate conflict that the character needs to overcome, and like they do things to overcome that, but obviously it's a metaphor for the themes that they're going through and stuff like that, right? Like a typical story, right? Any kind of story that's being told in a very good way, basically. Like any you think like any like story heavy kind of game, you can tell that there's like a beginning and middle and end, right? There's like something that's you know, being brought up, but you know, it isn't so explicit on what exactly it's trying to say, I guess, if that makes sense, you know? I don't know what I'm trying to say, but basically I wish this game was just more of a short story rather than like a blog post, you know? I don't know, it might be because of my own expectations as well. That's also what I kind of expect with like a dialogue heavy RPG Maker game. Often the games that I play of those are like definitely more like that, more like more like a fictional story rather than like, again, someone just telling me how their life sucks or whatever. You know, I'm assuming it's again, it is still mostly fictional, I think, but it is based on developers' like real like thoughts and feelings. I get that, right? I get that. It is an interesting idea, but still, it's not very told in a very interesting way, I feel like. But that's just me. Anyway, again, that's it. That's my feelings about this game. It could be much more, I feel like, but I think it didn't really meet my expectations. And, you know, I guess that's fine. You know, not everything has to be for me necessarily, and maybe other people might like this thing. I say this thing, you know, I don't mean to be dismissive, or other people might like this game, you know, much better than I did. But I do feel like it's not really for me, I guess. I went through it anyway, as you know, I still want to see the very end just to see how it unraveled. But yeah, it didn't really keep my interest all the way through. However, I gave it a shot. You know, again, some parts of it I did like, but other parts not so much. But I guess that's it for Monophobia. I guess if you're watching the video, Then if you want to see more content, don't forget to subscribe. You can also check out my other playthroughs on the channel if you like. If you didn't know, I also stream these games live on YouTube. So you can change the change the notification settings from personalized to all if you get notified when I go live. But there you go. Thanks for watching. Until next time, see you then.